Well, I've been on YouTube for about a month now, and this is the first time I've had to divide a video into multiple parts. It's going to be 3 parts. It's that long to do this chili cook. So this is part 2, and this is the main part where we put most of the ingredients together. All right, it's going to be about a 10-minute video. Now look, I put in some cans of the Rotel type chili and tomato stuff. It's not Rotel brand, but I want to tell you something. Make sure you drain that. If you do not drain it, it's going to be way too hot for most folks to eat. If you like the hot stuff hot, then don't drain it. But the only 2 people in the world that are going to want to eat it is me and you. Your guests are going to think it's too hot. So drain the can of tomatoes and chili part. All right, this is part 2 of Big Lou's award-winning Smokey Spicy Close to Texas Chili. Okay, this is my chili pot. What we're going to do now is we're going to throw, it's hot already, and I'm going to throw in a whole stick of butter. Now, let's see how your math skills are. If we're doing 5 pounds of meat, we do half a stick. That's right. All right. Now, we take these vegetables we chopped up on my food processor, which consists of a knife and a piece of wood. That's how I do kitchen gadgets, y'all. Old school. Actually, the food processor's got some good uses, but I can make this into puree if I wanted to in a food processor. And if I chop it with a knife and take the time and love to put into it, I'm gonna get better chili out of it, I think. So we just scrape all this stuff off this chopping board in there. All right. And what we're gonna do as we fry this is we're gonna add just a few dashes of salt. We're gonna be adding a lot more salt later. Not too much, of course, but what needs to be in the chili. All right. Get your good wooden spoon. I like to stir with wooden spoons. All right, I don't cook chili in cast iron because I put tomato paste and stuff in it, and I don't like to cook too much stuff with tomatoes in cast iron. There are some things I do cook in cast iron with tomatoes. I cook okra and tomatoes and stuff like that, but this chili cooks for 4 hours, and that acid in tomatoes can really work on your stuff. All right, you see how big I chopped this? That's just it's gonna fall apart and it's gonna all stew together. Trust me, okay? It's gonna be good chili. Maybe you wanna chop it finer, use a food processor, or maybe you got better knife skills than I have. But celery, onion, garlic, bell pepper, that's what this is. And we're gonna let that stew down until until it gets translucent. While it does that, I bet it's time to pull that meat off the grill. Okay. These things are just about ready to come on off of here. And that one's a little black, but it's okay. It's all gonna cook into the chili. All right. And we're gonna break it up. Now, some of these big ones may still be a little bit rare in the middle. That's okay. We're cooking this stuff for 4 hours. You know, back in the day, I know people used to, almost lost that one, used to eat their burgers rare. And we're not gonna be eating any rare meat. We're gonna be cooking this in the thing, but most of the grease and stuff is out of these patties, and they are ready to go into the pot. It look like that. And that's how I brown my ground meat chili, y'all. All right, while that meat rests, the meat doesn't need to rest because it's ground meat. I know that. It needs to rest so I can touch it. All right, stir this. Now see, these onions are getting translucent. That's how they talk on the TV when you watch the cooking shows, translucent. All right, basically, You can kind of smell it when they're getting done. All right, now what we're going to dump to this is we are going to add in a ½ gallon of water. If you make it 5 pounds of ground meat, a quart of water. To that water, we're going to add 2 bouillon cubes. If it's 5 pounds of ground meat, guess what? 1 bouillon cube. See how that works? All right. Then we're going to add some tomatoes and chilies to this. Normally sold under the Rotel brand, but the Rotel brand sells for $1.20, and this sells for 65 cents. So guess what we use? That's how Big Lou rolls. He can do some math. All we need is the tomatoes and chilies. I don't care what it says on the label. I'm not eating the label, you know? All right. Then, tomato paste. Now look, this is a 12-ounce can of tomato paste. If you're cooking 5 pounds of meat, 6-ounce can of tomato paste. Everybody understand how this is working? Divide by 2, multiply by 2, whatever the case may be. Get all that tomato paste out of there. All right. Get as much of it out of there as you can. All right, right like that. You stir this around good. Stirring it with this spoon here to kind of rinse all the tomato paste off of it. So we've got 2 bouillon cubes, 2 things of tomatoes and green chilies, and a can of tomato paste going in this. All right, ½ gallon of water, 1 quart for 5 pounds. Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to add 2 ounces of Worcestershire sauce. All right, and the best way to do Worcestershire sauce, you just take this part right off right there like that, pour it in there. 2 ounces of Worcestershire. Well, I don't have quite 2 ounces, so we'll just do that much. How's that sound? All right. And a little bit of soy sauce, maybe almost an ounce. Yeah, about like that. And an ounce of Tabasco sauce. Now look what they do on these Tabasco sauce bottles, y'all. They put a little plastic thing on top right here. And what that does is that prevents you from getting enough Tabasco sauce out. So I'm gonna take that little plastic thing off. And well, can't get it off right now. Usually it just pops on off. We'll just try it like this. We ought to shake it all. You pull that plastic thing out. You don't have to worry about it, but a whole ounce. Now, when I did that cook-off challenge, they said you're entering the spicy, and I put 2 ounces of Tabasco in it, and y'all, I really did think it was a bit too much for everyday eating. 1 thing of Tabasco will get it done. All right. I'm not even going to edit that plastic part out. Normally, that plastic part just pops on out. All right. Now, for our dry ingredients. What did I tell y'all needs to be the most important ingredients in your chili? Chili powder. So I'm gonna dry this out a little bit, wash it off, and we're gonna get chili powder out of it. All right, here we go. 1 ounce for every pound of chili. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's about right. About 1 ounce. If you're doing 5 pounds of chili, 5 ounces of chili powder. I don't put a lot of cayenne in mine. I don't put cayenne in. I say the cayenne for jambalaya, gum, those stuff like that. So we're putting a lot of chili powder in this. Now, chili powder is not all that spicy, but it's real, real flavorful and makes your chili taste like chili. All right. Now, got 2 more secret ingredients. All right. Lime juice squeezed right fresh from the plastic bottle. Just like that. You see that fresh lime juice comes fresh out of the plastic. All right. If you want to, you can squeeze a real lime in there. About the juice from a whole lime, or about an ounce of lime juice. Like that. Now that's normally how I make it. All right? But if I have cilantro on hand, I put cilantro in it. Well, I normally put a little bit of cilantro in there when I have cilantro. I don't always have cilantro, so I don't always put it in there. I looked in the refrigerator earlier today, said, oh good, I got cilantro. And I pulled open the bag and it was parsley. I don't put parsley in the chili. I just put cilantro, but just a little bit, not much. A lot of people don't like cilantro. I hear it tastes like mud or soap or something. I love it. Me encanta cilantro.